The video that you are about to watch is an excerpt of the original. After my long efforts in dealing with YouTube's copyright management system, I had to give up. I haven't given up my projects though. And while we cannot publish the entire video here due to the imminent danger of having the channel closed down, you can still enjoy excerpts which we've carefully chosen in order to make this video meaningful, fun, and educational. If you want to watch the complete video, including the sound of the music from the original recording, as well as special edition videos which will never be published here on YouTube due to the same copyright issues, and the Beatles 150 series, as well as other series and courses, you're welcome to visit my Ko-fi or Patreon page. I hope you enjoy this video.
Hi everyone! Would you believe it? We are at number 40. Number 40 in this journey, and I feel like 1/3 of the way is coming up fairly quickly. Well, as usual, I have some things to read, so I will dive right in and tell you what is in front of me on this screen, and then we'll listen. So this song is entitled I Need You, and it is classified as pop rock. Okay, so we're kind of moving away from the country rock for a few moments and doing a little bit pop rock. George Harrison wrote I Need You about Pattie Boyd, the English model whom he married in January 1966. He never appeared to have commented about I Need You in any interviews, so the songwriting history is left to speculation. During an interview in 1965, as contained in the book Ticket to Ride by journalist Larry Kane, he leaves a hint as to his songwriting pattern, saying, "If I get something going, then I'll tape it. I'll leave it for about 5 weeks, and then I'll suddenly remember. Then I add a bit more to it, so it will probably take me about 3 months before I finish one song." You know, that doesn't surprise me. Even when I am practicing a piece of music to learn something that's already pre-composed, I go through a similar pattern of I work and work and work on it for a bit, and then I put it on the back burner, so to speak, and let it sit for a little while I'm doing something else. Then I come back around to it and go through the next phase of development. It seems to work more naturally, more comfortably to internalize a piece of music that way, and creatively, it's much the same way. You work and work and work on something, whatever ideas come out, then you just go let it sit, and your subconscious mind continues working on it without your attention or effort. And next time you come around to it, you have something new to add, something more to bring to it, and as well as a fresh perspective, you haven't just burned yourself out on it. So that makes sense to me. The song features the Beatles' first use of a guitar volume pedal. Okay. George Martin said the song worked out very well and considered it an important step for Harrison. He added, "He has got something to say as a songwriter, and I hope he keeps it up." Well, coming from George Martin, I guess that sort of assessment of an up-and-coming songwriter would be kind of encouraging, wouldn't it? Writing in the 2004 edition of the Rolling Stone album guide, Rob Sheffield described I Need You and You Like Me Too Much, haven't heard that one yet, as the finest George songs known to man. Okay, this sounds like it will be pretty nice, so let's dive right in. That is so interesting. There's so many. It's an absolutely lovely piece of music, first of all. Secondly, I can hear them experimenting with this volume pedal thing, and I can just imagine the creative process that went into this of, okay, what can we do? And they take this simple, well, I'll get to that, okay? We'll go back through and tear it apart, because there are several things that really caught my ear in this one, and I want to explore them. So let's do that. That's the, what was it called? The the volume pedal. I almost said swell pedal. Volume pedal. And this is one of the things that I noticed about the song. It sounds kind of like it's a new toy in a way. Meaning they decided, okay, let's try and see if we can really incorporate this into a song. And they did, or Harrison, whoever did, a brilliant job. Because you don't really notice it at the beginning. It just sounds like beep, beep. And you hear a little bit of, it's kind of like a harmonica sound, or kind of like some horn sound. You don't hear a lot right at the beginning. But what ends up happening, I'm going to wait a minute. I'm going to circle this, and we're going to listen to it, and we're going to get to the end of the first phrase. And suddenly, it all makes sense. Because he's singing, need you, need you. And suddenly this opening, this is, let's see. It becomes, need you, need you, need you, need you. But, even better than that, the first line is, you don't realize. And us, the listeners, don't realize that that is saying, need you, need you. So it's kind of playing with words. I'm not sure he really intended to do that, but that's what came out of it. And it's such a fun little kind of joke, musical joke, hidden in here. Not terribly deeply hidden. But we hear this beep, 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 beep. Okay, some funny little intro. Fine. And then we get this nice voice entering, you don't realize. And the instrumental mix is giving a nice full warmth around it. It's not doing anything really ear-catching. But we get to the end of that line and suddenly like, oh wait, there was a joke in there somewhere. Isn't it nice the way it darkens a little bit? So we had need you, and then we have suddenly with the lowered G, leave you, and it gets just a little bit dark on that idea of leave you, and then we go on to back to the main idea. So, and here is where the volume control of this pedal suddenly steps in, and it feels like they got a little more confident with this. Okay, and it becomes a sort of echo effect. And so we hear this need you echoing. Please come on back to me. And in that come on back to me, we hear the echo of need you. Although he's not saying it in his words, the guitar is saying it for us, is telling us what's echoing within those words. Come on back to me. And then here, of course, he doesn't continue with the need you at the end of every line. And then we can say, all right, is this just the ending of a line? And do we now interpret it as being tell me or upset me? We could. But I feel like it best fits the first verse. Need you. And the little internal musical joke here is the intro being need you, and you don't realize that I'm saying I need you. And so my instinct is to interpret every time this guitar comes as saying need you, which means as he is singing other lyrics, how was I to know you would upset me? Still underneath that we hear need you. need you. And that's my instinct. You can do as you please with it. But that's how I would take it through the other verses. And then we have this funny little cowbell entering. Tick, 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 tick. I'm not sure that cowbell is necessary there. I could almost say, just leave it out. Why are you messing with this wonderful, wonderful thing that's happening with this need you idea? But at the same time, I understand, and it's true, that with a piece of music that is fairly subdued, and this one is fairly subdued, the refrain, the chorus, da bum bum, it goes up from. Okay, so it's a bit of a contrast melodically, range-wise, all of that, with you don't realize how much I. But still, texturally, everything is just this kind of warm wash around the voice. And even this guitar pedal with the echo effect is kind of adding to this washy sound. And so it is necessary to get something in there to clarify and brighten. And so why not the cowbell, right? But I'm not I wouldn't say that the cowbell adds anything to the musical interpretation or meaning. It simply adds what we need in terms of variety and textural difference to keep us from getting keep our senses from becoming dull, so we lose our connection with the piece. So that's what I think is happening here.
Oh yes, you told me.
I didn't mention this chorus in the background. Whatever it is. It's as if it's kind of classic Beatles at this point. They're using these backing choruses so much. At the same time, it's blended into the background and it becomes part of the instrumental wash around the voice. All of it is adding emphasis and richness to this chorus refrain. And that's kind of emphasizing what is being said there. You said you had a thing or two to tell me. How was I to know you would upset me? I didn't realize as I looked in your eyes. You told me, oh yes, you told me, you don't want my lovin' anymore. I'm just sitting here thinking, this was supposed to be a love song? I'm not sure. Maybe he was inspired, but I didn't read anything about him. I don't know, did he break up with Patty Boyd, or was it just his relationship with her that inspired him to write this song about needing somebody? Yeah, I guess it did say that they married, so there wasn't really a breakup, at least not in my notes here. I don't know enough of the biographical history to know if it was any more than that. But I guess I feel like, from what I know, I feel like his relationship with Patty Boyd gave him the inspiration to express how much he needed this person. And he did it by setting it in this classic breakup story context, Kind of like the early Beatles songs. Only this one is a bit more sophisticated and it's different. There's something very sweet about it. Even though it's about someone leaving him, it's very gentle and almost like we're not really suffering here. There's such sweetness. Almost like this breakup story was just a made-up thing because there's really no pain in this.
My loving anymore.
Notice how this I just can't go on anymore. Well, first of all, it's the classic triplets, right? I just can't go on anymore. But the guitar in the background is adding a bit of emphasis to this. The cross rhythms here, so nice.
That's when it hurt me.
Okay, I have to go back to this need you idea. One thing that is not happening in here. We are not hearing him sing, I need you, I need you. We are not. He only sings, I need you. And the guitar says this, which makes the guitar a bit of a partner with the singer and the lyrics, because I can't think of, when I listen, as I'm listening to this, to me, this need you is so, I could say, in your face, coming out of the guitar. Need you. That it has to be the guitar again saying, need you. Even though he never actually sings those words on that. So that means that every time he sings a line, you don't realize how much I need you. The guitar is coming back and saying, emphasizing, need you. He sings, need you. And then the guitar sings. It's a wonderful partnership between the two. And that's what strikes me most about this piece, is that even though it feels a bit like this volume pedal was kind of an experiment in this song, I even hear, like, they're not particularly skilled at grading the strength. Sometimes it's a little bit weak, and I think, did they mean for it to be that way? Other times it doesn't respond as I thought it should. It's not this perfectly polished, controlled volume, but in spite of that, it's so well integrated into the piece. This could not be this song, I Need You, without it. And I think that's pretty cool, because to take basically a new toy and have it be far more than a toy, but be a fundamental, irreplaceable component of the music. So much so that it is partnering and sharing the load of the lyrical content, even though it doesn't actually say a word, yet we hear. Then it's just a great setup.
I could never really.
Right there, it's as if it's need you, need you. This, again, this echoing reverb, which is, it's musically nice. It sounds nice. It feels nice, but it says something as well.
I need you.
And we finish with the same need you, sung by the guitar. What a lovely little piece of music. It doesn't strike me as being heartbroken or anything like that, in spite of what the lyrics are saying. And that's why I said what I did, that I feel like it's almost as if that whole thing is made up. There's this incredible sweetness about it. Sweet and, I could say, peaceful. And then this wonderful playing around with the volume pedal, which I think is just great. There's nothing that I would say is harmonically groundbreaking out of this song. And okay, I find the classic little triplets, which show up fairly often in the Beatles' works. Interestingly, this is not a Lennon piece of music, and still the triplets are there. Maybe they all like the triplets, or maybe they're all imitating whoever came up with it first. Maybe it's just so much a part of their collective musical instinct at this point that it just comes out of all of them. I don't know, but it was interesting to see that showing up here as well. And in some ways it's true. It does kind of feel like the early Beatles songs, at least topically. She loves you, yeah. I want to hold your hand. You don't know how much I need you. I need you. Come on, I need you. You have no idea. But at the same time, it's presented in such a more mature way, both in the musical composition style, the arrangement of it. You know, there's not even a guitar solo in here. That's the other thing I wanted to mention. I almost forgot. There's no guitar solo. And we could even say, at least I would say, there is no riff. I don't feel this as a riff. It doesn't feel like something that, okay, yes, it happens over and over, but I guess I wouldn't call it a riff. I would tend more towards calling it a leitmotif. Leitmotif because of the need you association. And that is kind of interesting to see, because without a classic riff style feature, without a guitar solo, such a well-balanced, well-integrated piece of music, all the details, it's an incredible contrast, maturity-wise, to what came in the early stages. Well, this is the third piece in this album, the Help album that I'm listening to now, and I can clearly see and feel what everyone has been telling me all along, that wait until you get to Help, wait until you get to Help. Everything becomes richer, more polished, more developed, more mature. There's so much more musical substance to dig into, and this is yet another one of those. It's interesting because it's still a pop rock song. It's short. It doesn't have any grand musical powerful development, something or other, but at the same time it is so well made and so beautifully put together and so sweetly presented. It's just a lovely little piece of music. So there we have I Need You, and I enjoyed it very much, and I'll see you soon.